everyone, it's Pam from GlamJunkJournals, and today I'd like to share with you a first part in a video series on tutorials on how I made my all fabric journal. This is made almost entirely of vintage handkerchiefs and napkins that I've collected at thrift stores over time. But first off, I want to say that I am so inspired by all of the wonderful YouTubers out there. I always learn so much from them, and I'm hoping that I inspire you as much as they have inspired me. Specifically, Andrea over at ARTYmaze, she has a great 3-part tutorial on how she made her fabric scrap journal. This is my spin on it. It's a little bit different, but you know, definitely check her out also. So I'm not going to go through a full flip through, if I could talk, on this today. I just wanted to show you some of the pages real quick before we get into how I made this. The cover is made from a placemat, and on the inside, as you can see, every single page is a vintage handkerchief. Obviously, I'm kind of obsessed with collecting these, but I just think they're so beautiful, and they just inspired me to use them all up because they weren't doing any good just sitting in my stash, right? Right. So let's get into the first part. Let me move this out of the way here. Now, what I did for the base of the last journal, the one I just showed you, was I went into my closet and I cut up a sweatshirt. And it was a gray sweatshirt. This is all I have left of the whole thing. You know, I figured it was a cute sweatshirt, but, you know, take one for the team, and it got cut up. So if you don't have a sweatshirt, you can use batting, you can use flannel, you can use a towel. Let's see what else. A blanket. For this journal that I'm going to make today, I got this piece of, I think this is a tablecloth liner, and it is just a little bit of thickness, not too thick and not too thin. And I got this at a thrift store, so I'm just going to cut it up. And that's what you want. So my suggestion is, if you were to cut up a sweatshirt, kind of get a neutral color, because some of the doilies are very thin if you're going to use that in some of your fabrics, so you may not want a real bright color showing through. So first off, what you're going to do is you're going to cut 5 strips of whatever fabric or batting you decide to use, and these measure 8 by 14, and I've got, like I said, 5 of them. And they're not exact. Don't worry about cutting them exact. That's okay. Not a problem at all. So you need 5 strips, 8 by 14, and 1 strip, 8 by 16. That's going to be your cover. And the reason for that is, if you fold over your pages like this, it leaves a little bit of extra on the side for your spine. So depending on how thick you want to make your journal, mine tend to be very thick, so I like to add a little bit of extra on the spine. And my other journal ended up 2.5 inches by the time I added all my little booklets and ephemera in it. So just take that into consideration. So first off, you just take one of your strips, and it doesn't matter which side you use, and what I'm going to do is just wing it. That's the way I like to make my journals. I do have somewhat of a color scheme in mind, and let me show you what I found for this. Obviously, I've got a red color scheme going on. Aren't these pretty? They've all been washed and ironed. Even after ironing, some of the old folds still, the creases still stay, but that's okay. So aren't these pretty? I'm so excited. Look at this beauty. Oh man. Love it, love it, love it. This is a scarf that I got from my daughter, who she doesn't wear it anymore. This is I think this is a table runner. And that just has the reds in it. So I'm obviously kind of going with a red theme. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but at least this gives me a starting point. And this scarf I got at a thrift store. I don't know whether I'm going to use it or not, but I just love the reds and the pinks and the greens. And here's some more doilies. They're just gorgeous. And here is, I'm not sure what this is. It's probably another table runner or something. So once you gather all of your fabrics or your doilies or whatever you're going to use, and don't worry about using them all. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. So like I said, we're going to take this and we're going to build a page, and then we're also going to build the cover today. So I'm just going to grab one of these, and it doesn't really matter which one. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to place it on there. So looking that way, you know, we've got some extra on that side. If you fold it over, I don't know if I'm going to do it that way, or maybe I'll do it this way on a diagonal. So I think that looks pretty cool. Now you do have a little bit of leftover batting that you can see in the back, but we'll take care of that. And if you flip it over on the other side, same kind of deal. You can straighten it out so it's right in the middle. And I think I'm going to use this as my first page. So once I get my idea of whatever hanky or fabric I'm going to use first, I'm going to remove that, not glue it down yet, and figure out a background, because I don't want this showing through. So let me get my other fabric that I gathered here, and going with the same type of theme, or I should say color scheme. We've got a little bit of green lace. I think that would be pretty. Let's see, I've got some lace that I cut off a dress. Love those homecoming dresses from Goodwill. Could do the lace on the inside. Don't know if I'm going to do that. Or I do have some ticking fabric. And let's see how that goes. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Ooh, yeah. So I think I'm going to go with that. And it's pretty close to being almost exactly the way I want. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to cut. Now what you guys want to remember is, if you're using a doily that's not the same size as your strip, just think of what you're going to put on the edges. You could also put some lace along the side. You could put another piece of fabric along the side. Like I've got this fabric here that I'll probably use later. Just go with it. And even if you didn't want to put anything underneath, you could glue this all on and put something over it. But I like to build, like I say, from the bottom up. So I'm starting with the base layer, and that's going to be this. So we're just going to cut this baby up. And don't worry if it doesn't, fit perfectly, because that's okay. Oops, I don't want my pinking shears. Hold on. Just going to cut off the end here. And make sure you save all your offcuts because we're going to use them later. All right, so we're going to go on the other side here. And I end up not using a lot that I pull out in the beginning, but that's okay. You know, I just get kind of an idea, and I really don't know where the way things are going to turn out. But this is just the beginning. So I'm going to do that, move that out of the way, and using Fabri-Tac. Now this one's almost out, so hopefully I'll get some use out of this guy. I go through Fabri-Tac like nobody's business. It's like it's going out of style here. So I'm just going to go along the edge, all the way around. And it doesn't have to be totally secure, because once I get a page put together, I'll go over and sew the edges. I'm just going to put that down and make sure it's kind of flat. Now remember, this is the bottom layer of what I'm doing. Oh, now that looks cool. But I thought it was going to be on the other side, so let's think of this. Aha, other side. Now, what do you guys think? Should I put that on the other side also? I don't know. Maybe so. Whoops. Sorry, bonked the camera. Oh no. Jeez. All right, let me get back in frame here. Went a little willy-nilly there. Okay, there's that side. I think I'm going to use this side also. Sorry about bonking the camera. I got a little excited there. I'm going to go on this side. Does your Fabri-Tac ever do this? The big globs on the ends? Ugh. I don't know why it does that, but I think it does it for me when it's near the end. I don't understand. I don't understand. Let me get back in frame here. Jeez. So I don't know about you guys, but since this whole virus thing came out, I have been cranking out the journals. I'm just having so much fun here. I'm really happy that I have you guys and this kind of obsession and passion for making these. Because, you know, some of my friends say, oh, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I'm like, what? How can you be bored? All right, so here's our base. It's not exact, but that's, like I said, okay. You may want to cut off a little bit of the end. I went a little over, but obviously make sure to save that. That's what I make my snippets with. I'll cut this guy too. Okay, move those out of the way. Now we're going to put this over the top. Now on this one, I can't tell which side is more vibrant. I think it's this side. And also there was a little something that got cut off there. I don't know what that was, but we'll fix that too. So I'm going to kind of center this. Like I said, it's not an exact science here. That's okay. See how it looks on the other side. That looks pretty good. I gotta remember in these tutorials not to bring it close to my face so I'd be out of frame. All right, now that looks pretty good. I'm gonna put something obviously right there because I don't like that right there, but that's okay. I'm going to fold those guys over, and as you can see there's a little bit right there, but I'm going to fix that. I'll fix that with some lace or just some added trim at the end. I'm going to go around the outside of the, okay, Fabri-Tac. going to go outside of the napkin, or excuse me, the handkerchief. Oh, forget that. Why? I'm going to just go with my plan B here. Fabric Fusion. They were out of fabric tack at my store, so we're going to try this. I haven't used this lately. I think it'll be okay. Now what you want to do on these handkerchiefs on the end is just do a little bit of glue, because it gets kind of globby. And I don't like big globs of glue when you have a sheer fabric. That just, you know, it kind of shows through and then it looks like a stain. Don't like that. So there's that. Glue the other side and kind of pull it tight. Depends on how precise you want to be. I am not really that precise. Okay, I'm gluing the other side here. That looks pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. I'm going to flip this side. Glue that up there. And the way I like to do my journals here is I let the lines of either the handkerchief or the lines of the fabric or just whatever I glue on, I tend to follow those lines to add other embellishments on top of, meaning like I've got some triangles here. I think that just leads me into, oh, I'll add some lace across here or some lace across here, something along those lines. So there's the base right there. Easy enough. And when you fold it over, look how pretty that looks. I like the way the red stripe is coming through the handkerchief. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these aside. And these, remember, these are just the bases. They are not embellished at all. And let's do the cover. So I got to find my big piece here. Where did it go? Oh, wow. Okay, is that the big one? Let's see. Yes, it is. See, it's about 2 inches longer than my other strips. So what I was thinking about with this one, which is going to be the cover, and they're all, you know, constructed the same, is I might use this. Reason being, it's a big piece, but it's almost so big that I'm going to have to cut it up. But like I said, take one for the team here, people. You know, this was at a thrift store doing nothing, and it's going to get a second life in a journal. Now, think about this. Do you see how the end of my cover is quite a bit shorter? I'm wondering if I should fold that over. So that would be on the inside, which is really pretty. I think that's what I'll do. And I'll leave this hanging on the edge, hanging over the side. And I'm going to cut this off so that when it folds over, you guys can see this, that'll be the cover. And on the other side, well, I don't know. Do you think that looks pretty just for the back? Maybe so. I think that's what I'll do. I was originally thinking I would put this on the back also, like that, and kind of move it over so you have the same pattern on the front and the back. But I kind of like this. And then I can always add stuff to it. So let's do that. All right, so we're going to cut this off. Let's see, leaving a little bit over the edge right there and kind of making it in the center. Let me move my other stuff out of the way here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do on this side is I'm going to make it a little bit longer also so I can fold it over. So we're gonna cut it up here. Sometimes I feel bad cutting up stuff because it's so pretty, and I'm sure it, you know, took a long time to make, but then I tell myself, okay, somebody donated this, right? So let's give it a new life. Yes. All right, now we're running into the same situation here. This is going to be the inside, and if I fold this over and I leave this hang, I have all this backside to cover. So let's find another fabric or another doily. Maybe I have a doily. I don't know. Let me see. Or maybe I have a handkerchief. This is where the fun stuff comes in. You just kind of wing it. Oh, I don't know. Would that look pretty? Just as the inside? I think it might. So then when you have it like that, kind of goes together. All right, we're just gonna do it. Do it. Don't think too much. I have a tendency to think too much, and then I just kind of sit there. So, what do you think of next? I think I like the finished edge of this better than the raw edge of that. So I am going to glue this on after I attach that. So that's what we're doing. Okay, here we go. This fabric fusion is working. Whoa! Ow! No! I was just saying it's working really good, and then it gives me this big blob. Eek! Oh. Oh well, just spread it around here, right? Yeah. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that secure because we're going to sew around the edge. All right. And then on this side, I'm wondering if you can see that over the edge. You kind of can. See, this is a little bit not straight because I'm not an exact cutter. Imagine that. But that's okay. Just cut that little extra off there. I'm going to go along the edge. Remember that this is a big globber guy. This guy globs. Eee. I have so much fun doing this, you guys. Oh, it is so much fun. Oh, I get so excited. Do you guys ever wake up in the middle of the night thinking of journals or, you know, thinking of embellishments or stuff to do? It's like, ah! Okay. All right. Now, on to my daughter's scarf. Now this, I'm thinking, since I'm going to have this edge folded over, I don't need to worry so much about, you know, whether these edges are raw or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and remember, this is going to be your bottom layer. So I'm going to cut it the same size as my base. And I want it to go right up to about the edge there. So I'm going to make a little snip here at the bottom. And I'm going to move it out of the way of my base. That's something like I would do is I'd just start cutting and then I'd cut my base off. Or cut it in half or something. Yep. Been there, done that. So, get this going here. And like I said, it does not have to be exact because we're going to be gluing and sewing and putting trim around the edge. So that doesn't matter. Okay. All right, that looks pretty dang good. So I'm going to glue that down along the side here. I need a little buzzer that buzzes on the edge of my table when I go out of frame, or like a little zap or something. Okay. Now see, this is really thin, so I want to make sure that I don't have the big glue globs. A little bit there, but it's not bad. Now this is very, very thin, this handkerchief, or this scarf thing, so it's not really going to create a lot of thickness. So I'm going to go around the edge, just with a little bit. Got some big globs again, spread them out. This is basically to tack it down, just so it holds it. Looks a little sideways. See if I can straighten out the pattern a little bit, but if not, that's okay. Go around this edge here. I think I'm going to cut off the extra of this. Cut that off. Just right along the edge there. Make sure I don't cut underneath. Yee. Okay, there's that. Now I'm going to go across the bottom here. I don't know. Let me see if I need to cut off that extra. I don't think so, because this is, you can't see through this fabric. So what we're going to do is we're going to go along the edge here. Actually, I'm going to go along the edge of the outside cover and kind of spread it around. I need my wipe here. Getting all sorts of glue all over the place. Now, when you fold this up, a lot of people like to cut off this edge. To me, it just kind of depends on how bulky you want your edge. Let's see what I think here. I'm going to go right up to the edge of my base. Fold it up. Get some glue going here. Press it down. Looks pretty fab. Now I kind of like the way this sticks out on the edges. I think it looks cool, so we're going to leave it. If not, we can always cut it off later. All right, now we're going to go on this side here. Do that. And we're going to stick that puppy down so it stays. Go along the edge of this again. I hit the jackpot the other day at Goodwill. They were having, well, actually they weren't having a sale. Since the virus, they stopped having their 50% off sales. I'm like, what? You have? Oh my God, don't do that. But that's okay, because I can still go on senior day if I want. I know, it's kind of, it is what it is, but you got to take advantage of those senior discounts. But what I was going to say before I got distracted was they had a, you know how they have those grab bags? They had a grab bag full, I am talking full, of these handkerchiefs. You know how sometimes you can find one here, one there, and they're both, you know, they're like $1, $2 a piece. This was a whole bag. And all of these that I have here came in that particular grab bag. Talk about a score. All right, so here is the cover. That's the back. Let me flip it over. Whoop. So there she is. Yay! Isn't that pretty? And obviously not done, of course, but if you can see, we've already made two. We made a cover and one of the pages on the inside. Yay! Yippee skippy. So, I'm gonna move that out of the way and let's do another one. How am I doing on time? Pretty good. Let's do another couple more and then we'll go on to the next one. See, I did the thing again. Oh, sorry. All right, here's another one. Okay, time for another handkerchief. Let's see. And obviously, if you don't have handkerchiefs, use fabric scraps. Use whatever you want. It's fine. This guy's really pretty. Ooh. And there again, I'm letting the shape of the handkerchief dictate what I'm going to do with it. I guess that's kind of how I roll. So I like the way this looks just like that. So what's going to happen when I fold this over is one side's going to be like that, and one side's going to be like that. Now, unfortunately, I would prefer this to be on this side because it's going to open this way. But if I do it the other side up, it's not as vibrant. So you can tell this is the bottom. So it's the way it goes, right? It'll still be pretty. All right, so I'm going to center that. Now here again, we've got some inside to cover here. And flip it over. Got this to cover right here. So you could do one of two things. You could, now here I'm thinking out of the box here. Check this out. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to follow this and cut it out so the whole thing is the shape of the handkerchief. Oh, I am just so excited. Oh, that's going to be cool. Cool, but we still got to cover the inside. All right, so hold on. Oh, I think that just looks fab. Look at that. This is from an old lace tablecloth. Oh, yeah. Ooh, wee. Okay, let's just glue this baby down. Whoops. Got fabric flying everywhere. This is, did I say that? That's from a vintage tablecloth that my friend gave me from her grandma. She goes, I'm not doing anything with this. It was in her basement. I'm like, sweet. Christmas came early. All right, I'm gonna glue the outside again. Just a little bit, guys. Remember that. It's just to hold it down. And this one does not want to stay. I should get some more. Oh well. Okay. Just to hold it in place. Because remember, I'm cutting off the edges, so I don't even know why I'm gluing all the way around. But, oh well. Because you never know, what I cut off, I may use later. Okay, so there's that. Let me get my wipe again. Where's my wipe? Let's get that stuck down there. All right, let's flip that baby over. Oh, and I love how this green goes with that. Cool, cool, cool. Now let's think about this for a minute. I've got to cut around here, right? So I need to glue this onto here first. Okay. I have to talk out loud, you know, figure this all out. So I'm going to go around the outside of the handkerchief. Do you think anybody ever used these? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to sound gross, but the ones I've seen are always just so pristine. They're always clean and they're not, you know, gunked up or anything gross. So I don't know if these, you know, people just carried around in their pocketbook. You like that? Pocketbook? Or what? But I have yet to find some, or maybe they just don't sell the ones that are really gross and just throw away. I don't know. But all the ones I found are just pristine. So anyways, I still wash them, but you wonder. Okay, now let's think about this. These are pretty big. These are my heavy-duty fabric scissors, but I do have some fussy cut scissors. I'm gonna see, I don't know. Let's try this. So I think I can take a little bit off and then maybe do some fussy cutting. I'll do the broad cuts right now. See, and there again, I didn't know I was going to do this. I just let the handkerchief dictate the shape. And that is what's so fun. Obviously, save the offcuts. Yeah, I don't know about this, you guys. This is pretty intensive here. Just bear with me a minute. I try to do a lot of stuff off camera that is not that exciting. But this won't take that long. Okay. Almost done. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to use my fussy cut scissors here, or some smaller ones, because these are pretty dang big. Save these. Speed up the video if this is too boring. It'll only take a couple minutes. Okay, let me get my fussy cut scissors out. My husband is so cute. Look at this. He goes, look at these little fussy cut. He even called them fussy cut scissors. I ordered from you from this fly fishing shop, because he ties a lot of his flies, and they're micro precision cut scissors, and they are so sharp. I thought that was really sweet. You bought those for me? Let me see, hold on a second if I can find my other fussy cuts that aren't quite as sharp as that. Let's see if these will work. I'm also looking at upgrading my craft room, because it's kind of like a bomb went off in here. A bomb. Let me tell you, a bomb. All right, so let's just remove some of the extra here. If I can get it off of here. Sorry. Keep pulling it towards my face. I need that buzzer. Okay, so there she is. There's one side. There's the other side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this up like that. Doesn't that look fab? Oh my gosh. Now let me think about this here for a minute. I know I wanted the sides. I know I wanted the sides to, be the scalloped edge. Do I want this to be the scalloped edge also, meaning hang out over the side? I don't think so. I think because once this is folded over like this, it might stick out too far above the, I don't know. It's a personal preference, right? I don't know if the edges on the top and the bottom are going to stick out too much. I haven't decided. I think what I will do though is just glue the bottom and the top down, so that when you fold it over, the only edges you're going to see are the ones that are on the sides of the page, if that makes sense. So I'm going to glue these up. This is the bottom, or the top, I can't tell because it's upside down. And don't worry if it's not precise. Like I said, we're going to be adding embellishments and ribbon and trim, so it really doesn't matter. Gonna go along the outside here. Get a little bit in the center. And I don't care that that extra fabric is sticking up. I think that looks cool. Need some more. right here. It's not coming through. Just glued the top layer. All right. Okay. See if this side works pretty good. Yeah, it does. This still needs a little bit more over here. It's probably because it doesn't like to be glued onto the tablecloth, but that's okay. Get down there. Erg. Oops. Big glob. All right. That looks pretty fab, gotta say. So flip that over. And there's the front, there's the back, and there's the middle. Now what I'm going to do from here is I am going to go sew around all of the edges, and I'm going to fussy cut, you know, just the leftover bits that are sticking out that bother me. You don't have to. And when I sew around all of the edges of all of my pages and the cover, I use a zigzag stitch, and I go so that the zigzag goes right to the edge and kind of overlaps at the edge to make it secure and hold it together. So I think that's going to be the end of the first part of the video. The next one is going to be putting the rest of the pages together and maybe securing it to the cover. So stay tuned. This is part 1, and I'll get part 2 going really quick. Bye!